Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back. What's going on? Hope everyone's doing well. Going to be doing 1 hour grind here at Manshaum Forest. And yeah, we'll see how well I'm able to get here. All right. Um, let's see. It's been a minute since I've been here, honestly. And I've already done 1 hour so far at this spot. It wasn't too bad, actually. I can't remember how much I got. Let's see if I can pull it up here and see my first hour that I ended up getting. Let's see, grind tracker. Let's see, moose. Where we at? Manshaum Forest. Yeah, ended up getting 812 million my first hour. It's actually pretty good. So we'll see if we can top that. Let's see. I really want to play in remaster, but I feel like I'm kind of like choppy. I think, let's see, I think this helps a little bit. Pair. Go ahead and get my scroll. All right. And I think for the most part, I should be ready. I'm going to be checking out another podcast here. We'll see. We'll see. Let me
uh, Disney paid 4.5 billion for Star Wars, so this is more. Okay, 7.5 billion for ZeniMax Media. Now, if you never heard of ZeniMax Media and you have never played Elder Scrolls Online, because there's ZeniMax Media Online, but they own Bethesda and its software and Arcane Studios and some other stuff too, which means you got Elder Scrolls, Online, Fallout 76, Doom, Quake, Dishonored, Prey, and other titles. Wow, this will be interesting to see because who knows? Microsoft either blow it up or do better because there has been a lot of concern about Bethesda because
all
they've
right.
really
Hopefully that
butchered
volume sounds
Fallout
okay.
76. And where is Elder Scrolls 6? Dang, man, where is it? Okay, anyways. For those of you who are conning it or not conning it, take it back. Conventions not being a con. We don't want people conning us, okay? BlizzCon no,
Oh, don't kill
BlizzConline.
my horse. Don't kill my horse.
They took BlizzCon and the
Don't
word
kill my
online,
horse.
put them together. So it's BlizzConline. Anyways, February 19th through 20th, 2021. I did not see anything listing a cost. We do know in the past for BlizzCon, they always had a $100 virtual ticket you could do. But with everything else going free this year, like PAX Online was free
I feel
and
like it's still kind of loud.
QuakeCon was free and all the other cons, I can't picture them money, but I didn't see anything. Did you guys see anything about money coming from Blizzard for this? Okay.
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Start and because we're talking about Blizzard,
Uh,
they have a
all
game
right,
called World of Warcraft. You might have heard of it. Okay, it's coming out.
What's it
gonna be
called
Mike
again?
starting here
Morhaime.
soon.
It's what?
What's it called again?
It's called World of Warcraft. Shadowlands.
It's the
So
worst.
Mike
Always trying to make
Morhaime, you
sure
may
the
have heard that name
volume
before. He left Blizzard because last year or 2 years
is
ago,
not
gave it all to Jay
too
Alvin Black.
overbearing.
And him and his wife started their own little company of things, right? Esports wise, but now they've branched out. His company called Dreamhaven has now brought in couple of studios under the banner to make games. Wow. Makes you wonder what's going to happen. And guess what? Would you not expect that Mike Morhaime has some ex Blizzard devs in the house? Of course he didn't. Of course he does. I mean, sorry, yeah.
All right.
Last of my dailies is Ship of Heroes. Okay, they're talking about class picks, chaotic fights, and more beta events this fall. So, for all of you City of Hero fans out there, and there are some news about City of Heroes Homecoming, or is it Homecoming City of Heroes, and other stuff. There's Pantheon, there's City of Titans.
Oh, by the way, so this podcast I'm listening to is 3 years old. So there might be some outdated information in this podcast. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. It's by Coffee and RPGs is the YouTube channel name. So it's kind of like I feel like the quality of their channel and just like their overall like speaking ability, it's actually really good. And like for this video, they only have like 400 views. So I'm surprised that they really never took off with this channel. But this is podcast number 28. So yeah, we will check them out and see how the episode goes here.
And a Ship of Heroes as trying to be the successor to it. Anyway, Superheroes has a stuff going on this fall, so check them out if you're interested. So those are my dailies. I'm now going to head off to Jazeel for his.
All right. So there was some contemplation because a couple of these articles are here that I'm going to mention are they would have been better off last week, but we had to move. So I'm going to go ahead and give them, and then there's a little
All
bit
right,
of more
let's do
speculation
it.
that I'm going to give at the end of it to kind of wrap
Let's
it
do
up.
it.
The first is if you haven't seen the Afterlife's video shorts yet on the World of Warcraft YouTube page, you definitely should go check them out. There have been people who are intentionally not watching them because they think that they're some kind of spoilers. That's not at all what I don't really know where that idea is coming from. They're really introductions. They're kind of like a prologue to a book
Dude,
or,
I'm telling you,
an
Musa is
introduction
just so
beforehand
much
just
fun to
to kind
play.
of
Like
show you
the mobility of this
what's
class is so
going
crazy.
on in each area so that when you go in there, you're not completely blind. You kind of have an idea of what the problem is, what the main problem is that you're going to be helping to solve, or mystery as it may be. And they're not fully animated, it's not full on CGI cool stuff, but the stories are just pretty fantastic at introducing you to the characters that you're going to need to know in each of those four zones, as well as, like I said, what's going on, what you're going to need to help fix. Um, and I just would highly recommend that people do go check them out. You're not gonna. It's not spoilers, so don't worry. It's just an introduction, and I think it is kind of important to go ahead and do that. I know in the past when we've uh, talked about, they usually release a book that kind of spans in between the current content and what's coming up. And I've always kind of been like, well, it's nice if you're really into lore, you probably should. If you're not, then it's not really necessary. And I kind of think the same thing with these, that they're not necessary. It's not going to ruin the game if you don't watch them, but I think you probably should. If you are in the lore, you definitely should. So we had that, and then we had, of course, many of you probably voted, as I did, on the website to see what the first free mount in Shadowlands would be. I actually voted on the Caterpillar. I thought that was really unique and would be pretty cool. Um, but I got to admit, my first thought was that Wandering Ancient would be really neat, just based on my love for J.R. Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings with the
I'm going
treants,
crazy. Like,
and having
what are they talking
the
about?
image of those two sitting on top of the ants going down the hill just really intrigued me. But then I started thinking, man, that's going to be a giant mount. That's going to be kind of weird.
I'm so
But
lost.
that's the one that won. So I'm not completely disappointed.
Something about
Kind
a
of would
mount, I
like the
guess.
Caterpillar. I tried to talk other people into changing their vote to the Caterpillar. It didn't work. But
That's what happens when you don't pay
so that's going to
attention.
be our first free mount when it goes retail, and we'll see what they do. There are some sketches on the the tongue twister there. Apparently, Kenneth and I are both having trouble saying it. On the World of Warcraft
Oh,
website,
World of
there
Warcraft
are
mount?
some sketches, artist sketches of what it may look like, and they all look pretty cool. So we'll see what we get. They have, a, as if I had a watch on here, pretty short time to draw something up, but I'm sure they can do it. See, next would be, oh yeah. The Shadowlands maps are going to be updated now.
Gosh, Shadowlands, that's
You
so long
used to
ago.
need an add-on for this, and now they've integrated it into the game. It should have been done a long time ago, honestly. But now they're finally marking where the entrances to the dungeons are,
Mm.
and not just specific to Shadowlands dungeons, but all old World
I'm
of
trying to
Warcraft
think. I
as
don't know if I
well.
ever played Shadowlands.
So now when your
I can't remember if I did
friends
or didn't.
aren't doing LFG,
I feel like
LFR
the last
content,
expansion that I
and
played
they say, hey, you need to meet us over here,
was
you don't need to get
what, Mist of
lost
Pandaria,
or have
maybe?
someone come and grab you on their flying
I
mount if
think
they
level
have one
90,
and bring you to it. You're actually going to be able to open
maybe,
up
or
your
level,
map
or
and
maybe it
see
was
the
level
little
100.
marker on there and get there yourself. And that's going to cut a lot of time out of getting lost and whatnot, which I still do with the modern ones occasionally, especially if I'm real tired. So now to cap that all off, a lot of the speculation has been pretty unanimous, and I agreed. I've been saying it for probably 2 months now that I thought that next Tuesday, the 29th, was going to be the date that they would start the pre-patch. However, they have updated, both Wowhead and World of Warcraft sites have updated the information on Shadowlands and pre-patch, but there's no information at all, not even hints. I've been looking at blue posts on, I won't say an hourly basis, but I've been checking the sites at least 8 times a day, waiting for a blue post on one of those sites or something updated on the website itself or the launcher telling us when the pre-patch is going to be, because you would think if it's going to be next week, they would have, said, hey, next week it's pre-patch. So if you need to get stuff done before this happens, do it now. There's nothing. Um,
Mm.
the
Quiet. Too quiet.
It's really quiet, and there are a lot of people complaining on the forums that there has been a distinct
Complaining.
lack of communication.
Nobody ever complains. We talking about?
Well, yeah, never, and never on the WoW forums.
Yeah.
It's always very peaceful and
Right.
zen, and but of course I'm kidding. But I would say it if it doesn't happen on the 29th, it has to happen on the 6th of October. If it doesn't happen then, I'm almost at a place right now where again,
Oh no, they
the
knocked me
guys that I
down.
talk to, the other WoW streamers, and also watching the bigger WoW streamers that don't talk to me because I'm too small of a fry. But
I used to stream WoW
um,
way back in the day.
we're all kind of in the same boat, and we're
Way
getting a
back in the
little
day.
worried that maybe their
Gosh, I think it
in-house
might have been
testing,
2016,
they're coming
honestly.
across things that are needing like big things that still need to be
Or
fixed,
2015.
and they're just not ready, and they're wanting to not postpone it. But
I can't
I'm going
remember
to
if it
say the
was
same thing
before or after BDO was
to you
released.
devs. I love you guys and
It's 20. It was
gals.
maybe it
I'm
was
going to say the same
2015.
thing that
No,
we've been saying to Amazon Game Studios. So Blizzard,
no. I think it was 2016.
if
It might
it's
have
not
been right
ready,
before BDO
postpone
was
it.
released.
Get it right. Yep.
We are okay with it. I pre-ordered it. These two guys got it. We're ready for it. We're excited for it.
I
We
haven't
would like to
pre-ordered
see it
yet.
released on
Which
time.
character are
But
you
if it's
playing?
not
Oh, I'm
ready,
playing the Musa.
communicate that
What's
to
up,
us.
Oliver
Let us
OG?
know.
Hope you're having a good night.
Get on your forums and just
Playing the
say,
Musa.
hey guys, we're really sorry.
It's a really
This
cool
bumps us
class.
out too, but it's just if we release it the date that it's supposed to be,
It's super like
it's going
high
to be a mess,
mobility,
and you guys are going to hate us
good
for it.
damage. It's a really
Let's
good
postpone
class
it till
for
January or whatever,
Yeah.
however long
well,
you need.
if you have like
Because
higher gear like I do.
there's something
But it's
weird
really good for
going
like
on
these
because the
lower end
communication on the
game
forums
spots
has almost
because the
died.
mobility's crazy and like the
So it
damage.
makes me
I
think
mean,
these
I'm
guys are
just one shot
probably
and everything.
working late into the evening,
But it's super
coming
cool.
in
It's a really cool
early,
class.
and
Very
working
flashy.
weekends right now, trying to cram this stuff together. And
Yeah.
um, if it goes to the 6th, it's going to have me worried, honestly. And you guys know I don't like to be negative Nancy on here, but yeah, Blizzard, if you need to work on it, I'm cool with it, man. I'm not canceling. I didn't
I used
cancel
to play. I used to play
Amazon.
Musa
I didn't
back in the
cancel
day
New World.
for a few
In fact,
months.
almost
I
a
kind of
whole
mained it for a few
year they're
months.
making us wait. So
Is Musa
Blizzard,
good
you're
for
safe.
Elvia?
I'm not
Yeah.
canceling. I got my sub going.
I mean,
I still end up playing with
it's
these
not like
two
the
awesome
top, the
guys.
best,
If you need to postpone it a month, 2 months,
but it's
3
probably
months,
like I'd say probably
we
in the
did it back in the
middle
Burning
tier.
Crusade. That was postponed, and it needed it, by the
It
way,
really
because
it
I
really
made beta test
shines
that.
at these spots,
So
like the low end game
I've not
spots,
pre-ordered yet.
like
Okay.
oh, have you?
Mansham,
Okay, that's good.
No,
Centaurs,
Okay,
I haven't. But all
uh,
right.
well, yeah.
Blood
We're done
Wolves.
with Sujatio dailies. Now it's
Yes.
Column's dailies. What do you got for us? What quest are you setting us out onto Questmaster?
Let's see. I know this isn't an MMO,
You know,
but I think
I
it's
feel
worth talking about anyways because it kind of
like a lot of people don't really play Musa too much.
borderlines on that
Like, I don't really
MMO
see it
definition
that much
that I
at
don't really
like
think about.
in
But
game spots.
see, now I can't talk.
And honestly, I really don't see it
Baldur's
that
Gate
much in
3
Elvia
early
spots either.
access has been delayed to October 6th.
Yes. Hmm.
But I would
Okay.
say it's
And I'm
probably
only mentioning that
in the
because
middle
again,
pack.
such a huge franchise, especially amongst RPG enthusiasts out there. But yeah, it's just been delayed a week. Lost Ark
Oh,
confirmed.
that's right.
Sorry.
A week. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only 2 weeks from now. It's not a huge deal in my
We
opinion.
think about Witch. Oh yeah,
Lost Ark
Witch,
confirmed the
Wizard.
Reaper class for the South Korean
They
server,
do
but
really
again,
good.
it's just a matter of time. And I said this like 1,000 times already, so I
They
do
just they have
apologize
good
for sounding
sustain,
like a broken record player. But it's just a matter
decent
of time before we get
mobility
this game.
ish.
Like there hasn't been any official release, but the writing is on the wall. You could read between the lines, and yeah, I'm predicting maybe early next year. If we get it this year, I think that'd be pretty awesome. But
I'm actually
I'm not holding my breath, but we will get it. I am.
well, I
Sure
was in the process of leveling
Second thing I
up
want to talk about,
a Wizard
something that Ken actually mentioned a
because
little bit earlier about.
I
No,
think a
actually,
Wizard
I
would
guess he
do really
didn't, but
good at
indirectly
some of
did.
these
There's a
in-game
lot of
spots that
rogue
I've been
servers out
trying to
there,
do.
Civ Heroes
Right.
But Witch,
included.
pretty much
And
Witch
there's
and
another
Wizard
one.
are
There's another
kind of
game that actually came out during
neck
that same time called
neck to
Hellgate
neck. So
London. Now,
Oh yeah.
I know you
I
could
remember that.
purchase it for the Steam client, but that's just the single player adaptation of the game. It's not the online adaptation. But they are.
is
There's
that the
somebody's
class
working
you're
on a
playing
rogue
right
server
now?
for that, and
Is
the
the
beta
Witch?
is
Are you
coming out
playing
for
Witch right now?
Halloween. It may not seem that big of a deal, but it is a kind of a big deal for me because I actually did remember playing it. I probably only played it for like a month or two, but for whatever reason, like I do have a lot of good memories in that game. I just like the premise. I like the idea of having Templars. modern day Templars, but fighting against demons and taking refuge in the subway system and using the stations as refuge. You know, as you kind of go out there and do your thing. And the classes were really fun too. I played the engineer, where you had like these little pet bots and stuff like that. Those
Yeah.
type of classes are my favorite when it comes to MMORPGs. I just really wish like Black Desert Online had something like that, but I'm not holding my breath for that either.
Good AOS, but slow. Yeah.
Let's see. Other big news. I know this was last week, and again, this isn't MMO, but it's such a huge deal.
Yeah,
Because
that's the
Fantasy is
thing
such a
with
huge
like Witcher
franchise, but
Wizard.
Final Fantasy
Like
16 is being developed
they
right now,
wouldn't
but it's
they
not
wouldn't
an MMO. It's not an
necessarily
online game. It may
be
have
good at
online
this
features
spot,
similar to what we saw in Final Fantasy 15, but it is
but
going
like
to be typically a
towards the end game
story-driven narrative.
spots,
It
that's where
looks
they
very
really
similar, in
shine.
my opinion, to
Where you're
Game of
just kind of
Thrones,
staying
because you don't see
somewhat in
any
one spot
steampunk elements in
for a
that
little
game
bit
that you
longer.
typically see in the previous entries.
You know,
It's
they
a
have
lot
good
bloodier
good
too.
AOE,
Like there was a scene where a kid,
big AOE,
Joshua, is
good
covered in blood
damage.
after
Just their
some guy gets
mobility is not
decapitated,
as
and
good
that's sort of a thing you
like
don't really
Musa
see in the
here.
Final Fantasy franchise. Anyways, I do digress because that's not an MMO, but
Yeah, fortunately
I
that the
cover it anyways.
tag
And
event's going
plus,
on,
speaking of
so
Yoshi
I was able
P,
to do this
who does Elder Scrolls,
because I wanted to get these
sorry,
spots
PlayStation 14 worked on it
here
or
during the
influenced
tag
That's
event.
true.
16, I guess.
That is true.
So you might definitely, that's one thing that Square Enix does a pretty good job of is integrating and
What
because
what
Nier
grind spot are
Automata,
you
they
currently
do
at
these like
Elvia? You doing
what's it
like
called? They
orcs
Crossover
or
events?
together, so to speak. Crossover events. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I can see possibly they'll bring in 16 stuff into the 14 world. Maybe I don't know.
It's
this
a
is
thought.
console?
It's a thought. Like what was his name? Yoshida, I believe his name was, the producer. Anyways, he was the guy that worked on 14 as well. So the director of 14 is
This is
now no,
console.
no,
Like
no, sorry.
am I playing on
Yeah, the
console?
director of 14, Realm Reborn, is the producer for 16.
I'm playing on
And the director
PC.
for 16, I'm blanking out on his name, but he did other titles such as the Last Remnant, which is it's a fairly older RPG that came out, I believe, when the Xbox 360 was a
You
new
play
thing.
on
So,
console.
anyways,
Oh, well that
and
changes
the
things
last
a little
thing
bit,
I would
huh?
probably add to that, again, not really an MMO, but still an online game nonetheless. Genshin Impact is going to be released this week for the iOS, the Android, and the PC as well.
Orcs, yeah.
It's a JRPG that is coming out. I think it's this Wednesday or Thursday. I can't.
I feel
remember.
like it'd
Don't
be
quote me
so
on that,
interesting
but
to
it
try
is
to play
coming
this
out this
game
week.
with a controller.
It's kind of
I guess I could. I'm
highly
pretty sure
anticipated,
PC
just because
has
again we don't
has
really
that
have
ability.
a lot of JRPGs
So I
on
guess
the
you like
PC
playing with
market,
your
at least
controller?
good ones, in my
Yep.
opinion. At least not until Blue Protocol comes out, but we haven't received a whole lot of information regarding Blue Protocol. So yeah. So for all the JRPG fans out there, definitely check that out. And yeah, that's about it. Unless you want to talk about Destiny 2. I mean, the Beyond Light trailer just came out too, and shows a lot of scenery from Europa. But again, I don't play Destiny, so that's all I'll say about that.
Well, it's good to put it out because it is a title people play. Unfortunately, it's been in a little bit of stasis, like it usually does between their
I
patches.
tell
I
you,
was playing Destiny
four
2 a month
consoles.
ago. It was all quiet in the GMA guild. Except
Wow,
for,
your
as soon
setup
as
is
we announced
amazing,
it, waiting
sir.
for
That you
other
can
stuff,
play
even
in
though
bed.
Super Shadow
I
keeps
know,
playing it now and
right?
then. So, all right.
My wife's literally right beside me.
Oops, wrong button again.
Shh.
The wrong button.
Hey, practice.
I think
Oh my goodness.
at
This is
some
the button I
point
wanted.
I'm probably gonna do like a special video of showing
All right, that was our quest, daily quest. Now we're into the next section.
kind of my setup,
We're gonna
like my
do
gaming setup
is
here
we're gonna
in my
do
bed.
our escort quest.
That might be
We're gonna
like a special video
escort
that
you
I
all
do
to safety
like
and
once I
make
reach
sure you
like
get to the spot
1,000
you need to be.
subscribers.
Okay,
That's kind of what I
oops,
was
wrong one.
thinking.
All right, sorry. Now it's time for
But
our
yeah,
storyline
it's so
quest.
funny my setup.
Time for some Trinity Bro opinions with our storyline quest. Okay. Yes. Quest. You shocked me. I know. So, well, I keep you guys awake, Shadow and Yoshi.
But yeah, I kind of
Otherwise,
feel
you'd be
bad
sleeping right
for.
now, right? All right.
What kind of bad for you, Oliver,
There was
with
an
the whole
article out
console
of
thing?
MMORPG.com. It was an opinion piece, okay? And it was talking about the
Y'all
last
really
AAA
ain't getting much
game to
love,
be released in the MMO
unfortunately.
world. Obviously, we've had games come out that are online games,
Can you show us
MMORPGs that are not
that
AAA
setup?
games. You know, Black Desert Online is not a AAA game.
Yeah. Yeah, like I
Okay,
said, I think
so
I'll probably do a
apparently
video at some
they
point
classified the
with
last
the
AAA
setup.
game to come out was in 2014. It was WildStar, which, by the way,
I think it'd be kind of a
is
fun video to
offline.
do.
Okay, so people
My
talk about the fact
ultimate
that what happened
gaming
or
bed
where
setup.
are all the big AAA games? I mean, yes, we have Elder Scrolls Online keeps putting stuff out all the time.
I
With
wanted to
regards to
put
their
like
different contents, we
some
also see it happening.
some
We can
like neon
argue
lights
whether or not
behind
Destiny
me,
2
but
is a
my wife, she was
MMORPG.
not about it,
Final
so
Fantasy constantly going new patches. WoW constantly new patches, but
she
no
was not
real
about
new
it.
titles. Even the ones we're anticipating coming out, I think like Crowfall, Camelot Unchained, even Ashes of Creation are smaller titles. So I wanted to throw it out there. The process is why we haven't seen a AAA game since 2014 WildStar. Solomon, what are your thoughts about why the drought?
Wait, but then I would ask, what was their definition of AAA then?
That's a good question. What is the definition of AAA?
Because like if their argument is AAA has to be like an established company, say whoever made WildStar, like I would beg to differ, just because like I mean we have so many AAA companies in South Korea. I mean Black Desert Online, I would argue is considered a AAA title. Star
BDO
Wars: Old
baby,
Republic, I believe I'm pretty sure it
BDO.
came out after WildStar did. So I'm a little confused about that statement. You know what I mean?
What is Wikipedia? Wikipedia called AAA. It is a
So,
games produced and distributed by a mid-size or major publisher, typically having higher development and marketing budgets.
Yeah, and they're gonna say that the
I don't
last
know.
AAA title in terms of MMO is
3 years
WildStar.
ago,
I have a very hard time believing that.
3 years ago was
Like
PA
Tactile Games may
a
not be that
AAA
known here in the
studio?
West, but
I'm not sure.
first they're getting traction, but one in
I
South
mean, I
Korea,
think they are now.
they're like the biggest name right
3 years
now,
ago,
right?
I don't know.
So then again, it's just like I'm not trying to dog on them. I'm not making fun of them.
That's fine. No,
I'm just trying to get where their definition of AAA is. So, but I mean, with
that's a
that
fair statement.
so with that being said, I mean, let's just assume that their statement is true, and the last AAA MMO title was WildStar. I would say that it's a
I don't think
bigger
I've ever played
trend
WildStar.
amongst indie developers, because as I've been
I
making
don't even
my
think I know
news
what WildStar
videos,
is.
especially this past year, I've been seeing a lot of 1 to 2
Uh,
man studios. I put that in quotes. Group of people making their own games out there. They'll oh Hey,
da,
thank you
da,
for
da, da,
the
da.
subscription, Rezos. I do appreciate it. Sorry. Um, I'll get back to you in a minute. Hang on. Let me finish my thought here. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So again, you're seeing a lot of develop, and this isn't just for MMOs or online games. This is just for gaming in general. I mean, we saw the huge success with Stardew Valley, and that game is only made by one person.
Yeah,
Before him, there was
so
a
crazy Stardew
game, a
Valley.
side-scrolling adventure game called Mungie or Dust.
Insane.
That was a huge success. And now you're seeing a lot more MMOs being developed by, again, a person of 1 or 2 people, or even 3. We're getting that steampunk VR MMO that is based in San Francisco. I know you guys heard of that, but I can't remember the top of my head what the name is called. Matter of fact, I can't even recall any of the names of these smaller studios that are making indie MMOs, unfortunately, because it's just I present it, and then I unfortunately just forget about it. But
Uh,
it's more than just 1 or 2. It's actually, I would even argue that it's actually more than just a dozen. Because if you actually look at some of the games being developed even within the Steam and Epic platforms, you're going to see a bunch of people in there trying to make their own game. Again, not just MMOs, but just their games that they want to play, and various RPGs. And not to mention, we also have crowdfunding, but that's an entirely different beast, topic of its own, because we could talk about like the
yeah,
pros and cons, and cons being
a lot
the
of
likes of
cons.
Star Citizen, and but we also had a lot of success as well. And so
But you never
yeah,
know.
it's a mixed bag. Even if we don't get the AAA experience, the experience still continues because it just shifted who's making them. And in my
Yeah.
opinion, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Would I like to see both? Absolutely. I do gravitate towards the AAA experience. I'm not gonna lie. I do like having a giant team behind the game that I make, because even though that doesn't necessarily guarantee a real polished game, the odds of it being fixed, or the odds of the game itself being just being playable at the end of the day, is just a lot greater than somebody who's just making a game on its own, on his or her own, because it's just sole responsibility of that one person that's making it, that has to put on different hats of the development of the game, and that could be very strenuous and very stressful. So, but again, that's not to say that I'm against or wouldn't play indie games, much less indie MMOs. So
Come here. Come here.
so yeah, that's my spiel. But again, the premise of this
Oh, I've been doing my Z
of the
buff.
argument that we haven't seen a AAA
Uh-oh.
title since WildStar, I'm a little I'm very skeptical of that statement.
Well, it does play into what is AAA games and what that listing is. I mean, it could be the big number names like we think of like EA, Blizzard, um, Bethesda, BioWare. I mean, these big game companies, and we've seen a lot. Like I said, you mentioned a lot of small community. I mean, I kickstarted Ashes Creation, okay,
Right.
Camelot Unchained, Crowfall, Sea of Titans, or City of Heroes. There's a lot of small games out there that are definitely being built and developed, and they're not AAA games, but they're not looking to be WoW killers. And you mentioned a very good point that Korea has a ton of titles, and but they're not easily ported over into the Western. They are doing them. There's been some interest in
For
them,
sure.
but there's also again a smaller niche. Blackers Online is a bigger game, bigger title that
Yeah.
actually did something.
BDO.
You
Oh,
know, I mean, I know Arcade was an example of us ported
3
over
years ago.
by
This video was
Trine
3 years
Worlds. You
ago.
know, kind of had its issues. We also seen
What was that?
Bless and Bless
2021?
Unleashed, right? So there have been
Gosh,
those
it's so
games
crazy
out
to think
there.
2021.
But I think like your point about that these smaller
Jeez.
companies, smaller titles. I mean, I think that because they're not shooting for WoW.
right. If I may, just one more thing too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that you mentioned Korea, I forgot to add. Again, when it comes to the AAA definition, again, I would argue companies like Tencent is probably even bigger than EA in a lot of ways, right? Because their market, even though it's not in the
I'm trying to think
U.S.,
of
the
the games of
overall
Korea.
again, and this is something that we talked about privately, is
MMOs.
the
I mean,
cash
you
on
got
hand
what?
that the
Obviously,
company is
Black Desert
capable of,
Online.
like Microsoft. I think it's up there.
Lost
I
Ark,
think
of
they're probably
course.
on the same level as Microsoft, if
Blade
not
and
greater.
Soul? Is that, I feel like
So
that's
yeah,
only
I
3
think again,
that I
I
think
guess it
of
just depends on which
MMO
region we're
wise
talking about and the definition of AAA itself. So
right now. I mean, I think
Yeah.
what
Well, and it's
Throne and
interesting because
Liberty
we're going to talk about article, a PAX
will be
panel,
coming out
and the whole
at
idea of
some point, I
WoW
guess.
killers.
I guess that's Korea
And I
related.
think if you're trying to shoot for, as to be a WoW killer, you're never going to get there anymore.
right,
And I think that probably smaller titles are being, they understand you can make it in the niche market. Dark Age of Camelot, first game I played, you know, back in what 2004, I think it was owned by Mythic Entertainment, which ended up becoming part of the EA empire at one point, but then it sold off to a smaller company. They make what 100,000 subscribers on a given, you know, and so but they make money. They're still okay. They're still making content because it's enough to keep it going. Eve Online, good example of a smaller niche company that is making its money
true.
and still working its way. I was thinking about the fact that one of the articles I thought about bringing out today was a game called Cross Out because there was like an article about hey they have this circus thing coming in or I go what is this? Cross Out is a new team-based multiplayer vehicle combat game. All right, okay, so
It looks fun though. I will admit
I
it does
know.
look fun.
I'm thinking Rocket League, but it's an MMO.
I think it's probably the engineering inside you that's talking.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I hate because the problem with Rocket League is very hard to control the vehicles. Okay, but it does look interesting.
Never
Anyways,
played
so
that.
Jazeel, what are your thoughts about this whole the
Never
drought?
played
Maybe there isn't a
Rocket
drought.
League.
Well, I think for me, I have a very complicated web of different thoughts going on when I read that article, and many different ways to approach it. And I agree with Solomon here that I don't believe that WildStar was the last AAA game, MMO game released. I mean, there's been other games released by medium size and large companies, well known companies, as a matter of fact. I would say that WildStar was definitely one of the ones that sticks out because
I feel like I need to look up what
it was
WildStar
so
was.
promising because it was such a unique
Mm-hmm.
take on an MMO at the time.
Yep.
There had been sci-fi stuff done before.
I guess it
There was
maybe
Star Wars
failed.
Galaxies, love it or hate it. Uh, there was Anarchy Online before that.
Oh, that's
Not
right.
too right, not too far before that. I've
Oh wait,
played all
is
three of those
Arcage?
games.
Is
Oh yeah,
Arcage? Is that a
I
Korean game?
I'd actually
I don't know.
if there's any private servers for that. I wouldn't mind going and playing it again. Now that
Hmm.
I mentioned it, WildStar
I
was a
really
great
liked
game,
Arc
and it had a
Age.
lot of promise.
I had a
And
lot of fun with that game.
I actually thought it was going to do really well,
Just feel
and
like I
for
just feel like I could
whatever
really never play
reason,
it
people
because
just
just
stopped playing
the game
rather
just started becoming
rapidly,
dead.
and it was empty. I think that part of the issue was the change in what people, the players, wanted. That World of Warcraft and other games, Guild Wars 2 when it was released, and Elder Scrolls Online tended to get more user friendly and new player friendly. You could get in and learn the game rather quickly. WildStar was a little bit more complicated, and the end game was intense. It was not, you didn't do end game content uh, unless you were with a group of friends and you all knew what you were doing. Like it was really difficult, and they wanted it to be that way. They wanted the end game to be challenging, and unfortunately, especially in North America, we tend to have an audience that didn't want it to go that direction. They wanted it to become easier over time, and they were able to get that feel from the other games that we mention on here consistently.
Right.
uh, and that's another thing that we were talking about Mike Morheim at the beginning, and he just had that interaction with some of his ex coworkers, about how the game, there just aren't any real games out there anymore that give you that challenge and give you that idea of accomplishment when you do something in the game that really matters. That I worked, I think about, this was during the Burning Crusade. They had
Ah,
those mounts, which I'm trying to think of the name of them right now, but they were the Drakes, and it literally took a month of doing 3 quests every single day, 7 days a week, for a whole month to complete that quest line in order to get your Drake. And there was another that was like a flying manta ray looking type creature that was also a mount in the Burning Crusade that you can get. It also took an entire month. And boy, when you completed that, you turned in that last thing,
we
and
on a roll.
it
Let's see.
that NPC said, "Okay, now go talk to the handler and pick your color, which color you want."
Oh,
And you could
I
only
got
pick one.
something.
When you got that
I don't know
mount
what I
and you
got.
clicked
Oh,
that
Marty's
button and
research
your
box.
character
Hey, I'll take it.
popped up on top of that mount, it felt like God just opened the gates of heaven for you, because it was that big of a moment for you. And a lot of these games just tend to not have that anymore. It's almost like you just put your quarter in, your subscription, and you do a couple things and you can get all of those things handed to you almost. Now, money would obviously come into this. If you're a business, you've got to be able to pay your employees. You want to be able to pay yourself. You want to be sustainable financially into the far future. And right now, especially like you said, Kenneth, and if you're looking at it like, oh, we want to be the WoW killer, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. You're going to fail. You need to do something different, but
Something a little
someone's going to
unique.
go,
Yeah,
yeah, but you just said WildStar was different, and it's gone
failed,
now.
flopped.
It's
Yeah.
gone. So how can you say that? Well, honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there are games being worked on now, Star Citizen, and some others that are different. And I mean, they're
Best AAA game.
sure you could go No Man's Sky and stuff like that. I guess you could throw that in there, but and do we know how successful that they're going to be, and how, like No Man's Sky,
Yeah, it's
is
a
it
big
very
kind of a
successful?
risk.
Well, it depends on your definition of success, which we talked on the show before. I believe we covered that before. Seems
Sounds
like we have,
familiar.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But for the big businesses, if we're talking AAA, and if we're going to go by, like you just described, the Wikipedia, Webster's dictionary version of what makes a AAA company, those big companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and NCSoft, and I was going to mention some of the Asian companies. They're looking to make a profit, and if they look at what the development studio is bringing to them, and they look at it and they think, okay, but what's your business model? What are we going to do with this? Like, is it going to be subscription based? Are we going to have a shop? Are we going to have all these other things? Like, that they want to know that they're going to make good money. And unfortunately, in this capitalistic system, you know, there are going to be greedy people that are going to say, I don't want to just get by. I don't want to just do okay. I want to be like Jeff Bezos. And unfortunately, there are people like that that are leading some of these companies. And I think that's a lot of the turnoff, is that they feel like they see things like WildStar happen. And they see things like
Yeah.
these games that are in limbo that have been in development for a decade now, literally. And they're like, that's just money pouring out my pocket. And if I
It's a
am
big
not going to
risk.
see not only a return,
Big risk.
but
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to afford like the top of the line Tesla and a mansion and, marry a supermodel, then, it's an unfortunate thing that we have to talk about it,
Right.
but
It's
it
also
does play a
reality
part in
too.
it.
I mean,
Right.
I'm gonna read up on the article itself, the guy's opinion. Okay, I mean, it's obviously instead of focusing on true MMORPGs, most major studios have shifted towards chasing the flavor of the month. A MOBA, hero shooters, battle
That's
royales,
kind of true.
mobile games, or lobby-based pseudo MMOs. The latter two have likely done the most damage to the MMORPG market because many of these games have been highly successful and they've taken up significant amount of development resources from prominent studios.
Yep.
Publishers like EA or Epic Games are raking in tons of cash for Apex Legends and Fortnite. There's no reason for them to develop a new MMORPG, which would cost significantly
True.
more to develop and target
Yeah.
a smaller audience. Instead, they've already grabbed the attention of online gamers and have mostly been able to keep it through small updates while heavily monetizing their free to play games. So I think that's what we're going to see. I mean, it's right now we are. I don't think we're not out of the MMO era. There's a lot of
No.
companies out there making small ones. We've seen the Korean titles a big. They're still big into it. A lot of Kickstarter games for games out there waiting for them to come out. Whether it's Star Citizen, Crowfall, Camelot Unchained, Ashes of Creation, even
New
though the
World.
now defunct Chronicles of Illyria, New World, Sea of Titans, Ship of Heroes. I mean, there are a lot, and there's more coming out all the time. So they're just not big. They're just not big. That's all. So that's fine.
Well, but I mean, I would be hard pressed to not call New World. I mean, it's Amazon, dude. It's like
Well, that might be considered a AAA game, okay, coming out of a
yeah.
big studio, but they don't have a track record. I mean, you can
Yeah.
argue that
That's
Amazon's
true.
behind them, but would you call them a big studio, or would you call them a small one or medium maybe?
I mean, they do
Oh,
probably medium. I mean, if you're talking about
the
exclusively
lag.
their studio that is
Woo.
working on that game, yeah,
If by definition, that's all.
I think by definition it would be medium. And that's maybe stretching it,
Yeah.
because I mean, I
Oh,
I don't I think we're in a drought as far as there have been a lot of promise games and there's a lot being worked on, but nothing's really came out and been successful. I think maybe that's where you would come up with the word drought. That we are. You just mentioned a whole bunch of them. I would even throw
not out yet.
Pantheon in there.
Yeah, but then
Uh,
too. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's so many that are just they're being worked on, and we don't know. It may be another 5 years before we see some of them.
Yep.
You know, some of them may never come out, unfortunately. But I Yeah, I really need. It makes me want to look it up now because I think Solomon is correct that there have been big studio games that have came out, and I'm just being a knucklehead right
Yeah.
now and not coming up with them.
This leads into where we have completed our storyline quest. We gave you a good story. Now we're going to escort you into safety, XP, and an adventure of a lifetime, which is kind of similar to in vein to what is going on. Our discussion about a drought. So during PAX Online 2020,
Have I not got any
there was a
narcs yet?
panel that had the developers from Pantheon,
Come
Ashes
on.
of Creation, um, Amazon Game Studio, and Crowfall discussing the future. So Chris Perkins from Pantheon Online was there. J. Todd Coleman from Crowfall was there. John Smedley from Amazon, who is not working on New World, but he did give it a hint that he is working on a title that is somewhat taken off of Monet's picture of a castle, I guess. I'm not sure, as well as then Stephen Sharif, who is doing Ashes of Creation. All four of these studios, all four of these games are looking at the future. So they were talking about it, and that's why we're talking about the WoW killer stuff. So I'm going to read you from the article because this is because J. Todd Coleman has really good talking points and things. He's very passionate about things. I mean, he was Shadowbane. He has his record for Shadowbane. So Coleman, in particular, discusses his previous experiences working with the WoW theme park model of games in the quote 8 to 80 age bracket. He contrasted that with Crowfall, for which he wanted something different. Before there was WoW, he said, none of us had an idea of what would work because we didn't know. Nobody had tried anything. So we tried a bunch of crazy ideas like Asheron's Call had a fealty system where you could get other players to swear fealty to you. And then as you were killing monsters, a fragment, it was like a multi-level marketing scheme for experience points, okay? Which apparently all the rest of the panel were nodding, agreeing very
Yo,
much,
what's
okay?
up, Jay?
You would just gain level by
What's
having
going
people
on,
ad
bruh? What's
farming,
going on?
weird stuff like that. Then he says, usually, if you
Are you
look at
still
a
grinding
genre
at
like FPS
was
or
it
RTS
Tungrad
or
Ruins?
MOBA or
I think
whatever, at some
I
point
think you said
somebody
you were
finds the
grinding there
amazing perfect
with your
combination
wizard.
of elements, and then everybody
Also, hey,
imitates
you
and lives
inspired me
on that. They all
to start
kind
to
of
level up a
take that
wizard.
exact same
So,
pattern and make minor tweaks to it.
but the tag
They
event
all
happened,
tried that,
and so I feel
and
like
WoW, it didn't
I
work.
wanted to
So
get some of
WoW
these
came
grinding
out and
spots
found this perfect combination of all these
here under my
elements,
belt
and then
with
tried.
Musa,
And everybody
so I can do
tried
some
to do
videos on these.
exactly the same. Just
But
like
as soon as I
freaking none
finish
of
these
them were
spots up,
even close
I'm gonna
to
be
what
going back
WoW
to my
was.
wizard
It just didn't work.
and
So for Crowfall, we thought it would be interesting for us
trying
to go back
to
to
learn how to play
pre-WoW
wizard.
and look at earlier branches off the evolutionary tree that had promise that basically
So we'll see.
died on the altar of not WoW because it's not WoW. It's clearly not the way you make billions of dollars. So let's just stop investing in it. Too many companies, I think, were trying to do be WoW killers, and when they couldn't do it, they kind of gave up, not realizing they could probably make money and not being a WoW killer. I remember someone did it was a game arc. The guy who does the like death of a game, and he was doing it on I
Oh
forget
right.
what game it was doing MMORPG, okay, and he was showing this chart, and he was showing how these companies were making these money in their subscription. Okay, I mean Camelot came in, different companies, right? They were all in the axis. The y axis had a nice line. Okay, then all of a sudden WoW came out, and that axis started going up. Okay, WoW spiked everything up. Now the rest of the games it kind of got a little away, but didn't quite get the same level. WoW just was in a class out by itself,
I
and everyone like, oh
achieved
my gosh, I
2
want that
pin
too,
Debo
and
ring,
so they
bro, and
tried,
I chill ass check you for
trying to
now.
grab the
Parasol
golden
weapon.
chain, the golden ring, and trying to lay their own golden goose, right, or eggs, right? Couldn't do it. And I
Gosh.
like the fact that, in a sense, these other companies here
Yeah,
are
that's
trying
crazy,
hard
dude.
to do a game that isn't a WoW
Jeez,
killer
that's
now because you
crazy.
can't do it,
2
but
pin
just do
Debo
a game that
rings.
you want to play and love it and do something
Congrats,
different.
man. It's freaking insane.
Anyway, so what are you guys' thoughts about that? The whole discussion about. I mean, I know we had a little bit beforehand, I think, but this whole
Yeah, the
panel
sovereign weapon.
and what they're talking about just now.
I think that's a trend that you see in any genre,
I'm sure as
regardless.
soon as it's released, you're probably
Think
going to
about
go
it. Like
ahead and
battle royale is going through like same exact
have it
experience, where everybody's trying to
at
capitalize
pin
on
level.
the Fortnite craze. I
I
mean,
wonder how
well,
how
okay.
hard the flame will
To
be
be fair, the first company that was
to
really
get.
successful at it was PUBG, and I guess you could
Uh,
argue that maybe Epic Games was trying to make
775
a
gear
PUBG killer, and
score.
they succeeded
Dude, that is
at it. But then
insane.
now they're the new status quo, and I don't think you're gonna
That's
ever
got to be
see
like the
a
highest gear
company that's
score in
going
the
to be
game.
the Fortnite killer. But you still have a lot of companies out there that try to do it anyways and come out with their own version of a battle royale mode to a certain degree of success. I mean, can they still all coincide or coexist with each other? Sure. But there really aren't that many, and a lot of them closed their doors, unfortunately. And then again, we're gonna have another type of gaming
I
genre
know, right?
in that maybe 10 years from now, and
That's
there's
kind
going to
of
be another
insane.
cash
The
grab, and there's
deck
going to be another
level,
cash cow company
golly, dude.
that's going to be at the top, and all these other companies are going to try to cash in on that too and fail. Maybe one will succeed, but it's
Dude,
low
you're not
maintenance,
telling
as
me,
they say,
man. Like
right? So
the free
yeah,
pin Black Star
I
is
think this is just a
insane.
cycle of just
I mean,
game
let's be
develop
honest though.
or
For you,
just
it doesn't matter.
the way things
But
are. Just it's
for
just
me,
what's
that's
the word am I
huge.
looking for?
That's a
It's just how it
huge,
is, you know. So
it's a huge
it's just
W.
it's definitely not just for MMOs, but at least in the MMOs defense, at least that genre has a history, a pretty lengthy one, relatively speaking, of course. At that,
I know I'm so hyped to
and
get
it has some
my pin
an
main
established
hand.
player base.
Dude,
Although you could
I've
argue
had
that
this
player
main
base is
hand
dwindling and getting older,
for
but at the
gosh,
end
I
of
don't
the
even know
day,
how many. I got like
it's
3 or
still
4
tried and
years
true,
probably.
and you still have a lot of companies that are still trying to make
Honestly, I was like
MMOs now with
dreading
as you mentioned
because I was
earlier,
thinking like,
without
what
the
what should
mentality of
my
trying to
next
go
upgrade
WoW.
be?
So I think that's a good thing.
And the thought
I
of me
definitely think it's a
trying
good
to
thing.
buy
Yep.
the main hand pin Black Star
Tazio, anything? Want to add
was
anything?
like,
I do
I
Well,
was
too.
like, I just didn't know if I really wanted to save up over 100 billion for
I
that. But now I don't have to, so we're good. We
kind of
Gucci.
because it does go back to, you're never going to get anywhere copying other games for sure. But another thing that I was thinking just now was something that happened recently
Gosh,
with
dude,
my son, and I'm
775
going to
gear
say
score.
he's a pretty good case
That's
study
crazy,
for
dude.
this, because that's the
It's a big
next
help to
or the new
craft a sovereign
generation of
weapon.
gamers, right? Or kids my son and daughter's ages. And so when he says things,
Oh, that's
I kind of
right.
take them
Like
and
for
go,
you, that would be huge,
even
actually,
if I fully
because you already
disagree
have a
with
pin
it
Black
and
Star,
have a different opinion on it as far as talking about gaming,
so you could
um,
combine 2 pin
I
Black
have to
Stars.
accept that probably is
That's
a
so
good
true,
view
dude.
of where we are right now in the gaming industry. What happened was he had found another
Lucky
game
dog.
that he was playing that he was enjoying, another uh, FPS game. It wasn't a battle royale, but
You're gonna be
he
hitting
enjoyed it more. But
800 gear
his
score
answer to,
by the
I
end of this year.
noticed him and his friends were playing it a lot, and they were just hyping it up. Like I almost wanted to play it, and I'm horrible at FPS games now, so I stay away on purpose. But
Times
the
2
next
pin BS to
day I
craft.
came in, they played it for about a week, and I came in
Well, but
to
in
just sit
there,
with them
in
and
that that's
hang out
one
with
of
them
the
for a little
methods,
bit.
though.
And
I thought there was a method
I asked him why did he go back to
where
Fortnite if they really enjoyed that other game so much. And he
I
said
thought there was a
something that
method
really
where
struck me. He said, "Well, because I've
if you
invested
have a
too
pin Black
much,
Star, you just need to get a
even
flame
though I know it's not
to
his money, that
craft,
was my
and then
money
that
that he
there's
was
another
spending on the
method where you
game,
could just
Right.
do
but
2 pin Black
um,
Stars.
he was like, I've invested too much time and money into
I'll
Fortnite
have to look
to
it up
just leave it for another game." And then
once I finish
I
this
started to
grind.
kind of scoff at it, like, but that other game, you guys like that other game. Like his
Probably
friends,
enhance
they were
pin
all talking about
awake
how cool it
to
was and how much
craft
better
awakening sovereign.
that they enjoyed it than Fortnite. And then I started
Yeah,
like I
I
said
probably would
to
go
scoff at
for
it, but then I thought about
the
myself and
awakening
what I've
as well
done,
first.
and I've probably said that same thing
Do you
about
like the
World of
color? Do
Warcraft
you like
from
the
time to
gold
time.
yellow color
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like this other game
effect?
more, but man, I've put 16 years into this game. 16 years of paying $15 a month, $60 every 2 years for an expansion, thousands and thousands of hours, late nights, accidentally staying up till 3, 4 in the morning doing a raid, and and
Yep.
whenever the idea of this other MMO is so much more fun comes along, like ESO, for instance, that I actually do enjoy playing that game more, it's kind of scares me, and I get that feeling almost like you're
I like the
going to
color
go
gold,
through
bro.
a
Yeah,
divorce or something. Like
it's
it
cool.
feels like that
It's cool.
impactful on you because you've put
I
that
like the
much of
red. I
your
mean,
life
this the red glow
into
though.
the
Like, let's
game.
just look at
And
that red
I
glow.
Yeah.
think
We just
that
look at
is
that.
and
Mm.
has been a lot of the issue here. I think my son and even myself, when I thought about it, I think we're
I think it'd be cool if we
correct,
could
no
change the
matter what
color.
generation that you're in,
Like, I thought they talked
that
about that at some point,
when you
that they were
put
gonna give
that
us that
much
option
into there,
where we
even
could
if
change it to
something
like
better
purple
does
or
come along,
white or red or
it's
whatever
going to
color
take a
we wanted.
lot for you to make the switch.
Oh yeah, that's a
Like,
good point.
yeah,
I mean, the fact that like, of course, I'm thinking the older days. Even though it was dialed up, there wasn't a lot
right,
of options when it comes to online gaming. And
right,
there are games out there. I mean, obviously there was consoles and there was PC. There are like games to play. You could fill your time up playing tons of games. Don't get me wrong there. But the idea of investing money, especially nowadays with like say, PUBG. Well, PUBG costs $20, but Fortnite, Valorant, other games are free to play. And when you're free to play, like okay, I can jump into it if I want to play it. No big deal. But then if you are putting money into it, Fortnite now has a Marvel thing. I mean, you can actually get Wolverine stuff. And it's like, well, that'd be kind of
right,
cool. And you're like, I'm investing all this money into battle passes and whatnot. You're like, well, wait a minute, I want to get something out of it. Would you and I put money into WoW or into other games, right? We're like, why would I want to go to another game? I just put money. I just bought $70 for the latest Civilization game. I'm not going to buy your version of Civilization or something else. I mean,
right,
I just put money into WoW. Why wouldn't I go to Rift? But and you always want to try something new because you get tired of other things. But then again, the money investment. That's a very good point. Maybe that's the reason we are seeing
Jay,
a lot more people playing other games because they're free to
what
play,
did you think of
and then you can
the hide
jump
a ball?
into it and choose not to invest in it.
Were you excited, disappointed?
right. But the thing is, most of, well, I will say the kids in my Sunday school classes back in April, back before we were all locked in our houses and weren't having Sunday school, as well as children my children's ages, they they do feel as if that money that I've given to them to play, or to get the battle pass that you just mentioned and to buy all those really cool skins and whatnot, they do feel like that is their investment, and they do like spend every waking moment that they're allowed to anyway. Some parents are a little stricter like myself and some aren't. Some just let their kid play it all day, which I don't do because that's just not healthy. um,
Yeah, you gotta have
you know
some
it's
restrictions.
and I think it gets even worse into adulthood when you're working that minimum wage job or maybe two minimum wage jobs, and you're putting money, your own money, into it. And it's those games. There, you can play them like that, for free, and not get the battle pass, not worry about all those silly skins and stuff. But the majority, I would say, do. And I mean, I again, just going in and out of the room, listening to they're constantly coming out with new stuff and new skins, new weapon models and everything that I hear them talking all the time, like, I'm going to go wash my grandma's car so I can get $10 or whatever to buy the Wolverine thing that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
like my son, actually, it was kind of a shocker. He started actually asking to like vacuum the carpet and do
For
things, and I'm like,
me,
that's not
I'm
like
excited for their
you.
coming update. Yeah,
What do you need?
yeah, me too. Me
What do
too, me
you
too.
need? Oh, well, they've got
Pretty
this
hype.
new skin. Just vacuum the floor.
Dude, I want
Here's your
the
$10.
All right.
I know
So
this is
Godfuzz needs to
I know
explain.
this is a while
Make sure
away, but
PUBG was
I want
like
that
Wild
100
West and
level
Fortnite was
dungeon.
like WoW. So I want to know
uh,
more what you're talking about. But we
I
also want to hear from all you
I get
guys in
that.
the chat, as well as if you're watching on YouTube, give us your opinions, your thoughts too, and all this stuff. Right? What do you guys think about when it comes to MMORPGs and such?
Didn't H1Z1 come out before PUBG?
H1Z1 was a PUBG was a knockoff of H1Z1.
But
Yeah.
even then, isn't
Okay, fine.
Fortnite took
H1Z1
over
a
I'll be right back.
survival
the game
game?
and made it way more money and content. Yeah, that's right. Good point. H1Z1, I think was the one. It was the PUBG was like a mod, I think.
Oh
PUBG
yeah,
was a
was that
mod off
something?
of that.
Yeah, something like
It
that.
built to its own game. So yeah, so Godfuzz, you're right. Fortnite took what PUBG did and make it way more money and content. Yoshi says if WoW had a little battle pass and was free to play, that would be interesting. It's true. EverQuest, in the same way, had good success. Then WoW came and went, hold my beer. Yes. Well, not just EverQuest, but you're right. EverQuest and Dr. Camelot and other games that were out there beforehand. Yeah, WoW came along. I remember playing Dr. Camelot, and people were all excited about the dancing. I'm like,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
I was like, whatever. Hold my coffee. That's right. Anyways, we want to know your opinion. That's like, no, okay. Um, that was we want to hear all you guys' thoughts about this stuff. Uh, that ends our escort quest. You've been there successfully escorted correctly. You did not die along the way. You may have been shot at, but we protected you. Okay, so there you go.
Man, I haven't
What's
got a
coming up
single narc.
on October 27th,
Last hour I got 4
6th,
narcs.
7th. Oh, my card's all wrong.
What a shame.
27th, okay,
Good old
is
RNG. You just never know.
World of Warcraft Shadowlands. And yes, we're having a launch party. It is Tuesday, October 27th. The actual
That's in
time,
Europe. It'll be the 26th for the US.
Oh, nice.
26th in the US. There you go. So
Yeah.
I got to think my card is right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so therefore, we're having a party. Okay. We're going to party first and we're going to play. So we're going to do that. So join us. We are going to be pre-launching before that. We'll let you know what server we're on, what's happening with that. I think we're all playing Horde. We're going to create new characters and start from scratch and get the 50 in the pre-patch. And then once it launches, Shadowlands will be good there. I do have a Fuzz going to be starting a brand new character. I
Right.
like my retail paladin. I liked a lot, so I wouldn't mind going back to it. But I'm okay with deleting it and starting over with these guys. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. We're going to do some pre-patching stuff, like Sir Jazio says, it's either going to be coming up on the 29th or October 6th. But either way you look at it, we're going to be jumping in and do it. I like my pally on Horde. I hadn't leveled up enough. I have not restarted my subscription yet, so that's coming up. I think I'm at least want to hit 50 in Elder Scrolls. So after this show tonight, I'll be doing some more Elder Scrolls. I need to get to 50. I should at least put that on hold when I hit 50. Execution sentence apparently is doing insane damage. Okay. So guys, join us. Okay, we're gonna have a launch party October 26th. Party and then play. So join us on this channel, and we'll be doing our stuff. And then, like the excitement you saw me going into a classic, will be exciting again. But we'll
5
see how
more
that plays out.
minutes.
All right, our quests are done. The dungeons are looted. Crafting dailies have been completed. So it's time to go AFK. Where can we find you, Solomon?
Coffee and RPGs. That's my baby right.
All right. That was actually a pretty good podcast. I think that was a good topic. I think that was a pretty good topic. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get back into World of Warcraft. I think for me, the combat, after playing this game, it's so hard to play any other game's combat. And the addicting aspect of grinding, like I don't know why this is addicting, grinding in a circle, but it is. It's almost like I expect it in a way, for like future MMOs to have some type of like grinding aspect with mobs. I wonder if like the developers of BDO, like if they planned this game to be the way it is, like with the grinding, you know, like when they first started out, like that would be like such a a popular, somewhat popular activity to do. Just grind in a circle. I wonder if we'll ever get Black Desert Online too. I guess probably not, since they said at the event that they want to do this for like another 10 more years. Mm-mm-mm. Ah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last time I was here, cool, it's probably been quite a few years, but I know they definitely didn't have the Marty Zone. That is for sure. Come on, finish strong, finish strong. 30 seconds. Come on. You can do it. Well, I definitely don't think my money per hour is going to be as much as my last hour because I didn't get any narc drops. What a shame. All right. Let's see what we got in 1 hour. I feel like I keep sliding down. All right. Okay. Can't really count those. Look at that. +3. RNG carried. All right. Let's put this in my grind tracker. Wait, I got less trash? Huh. I thought I did better with my trash this hour. Guess not. 16, 668, 40, 15, 54, 58. I didn't get any narc drops. 10. Dang, those sell for 2 million. Six, 4, 21, 2, 36, 1, 6 of those, 2. And I can't stop yawning. Mm. So I ended up, I mean, honestly, it's not bad considering how much of the narcs? 11 million. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad at all. 757 million. I mean, honestly, like, it's really not bad. I guess a lot of it's coming from the Kaffir stones too. Yeah, Kaffir stones. Gotta be from the Kaffir stones. Good amount of it. Yeah, 757 million. I'll take it. All right, so far, this is what we got. 812 million, 16.7K trash. That was my first hour, and then 16.6K trash my second hour. Yeah, I'm only gonna do 2 hours at these spots. Let's see what global has at these spots here. Global. Manshaums, where you at? Where you at? There you are. So 14.3K trash. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, that's why I'm getting such crazy numbers. The Narc Solus is 66 million. I guess that makes more sense now. because I got 6 of these. Hmm. Well, I'm above the trash numbers. Where are you at, Manshums? Let's see. So if I take that away, okay, 416 million. Yep, that's where most of the money was coming from, was that. Hmm. All right. All right, well, I'm going to hit the sack. Yeah. Ooh, got a long day tomorrow. Alrighty. Peace out. Thank y'all for stopping by and hanging out with me this hour. Uh, really appreciate that. Oliver, thanks for hanging out. Martin, thanks for hanging out. Jay, thanks for hanging out. Um, oh, I know this is unreal, but I got 5 Debo neck and 9.5k trash in 1 hour. Dude, you're so carried. You got the RNG gods on your account, Mr. 775 gear score. What the heck, dude? 5 Debo necks? Like, dude, how much does a Debo neck even run for? Wow. Freaking kidding me? That's insane, dude. You got 5 of these? You rolling in that dough. I think you should, I think you should, I think you should enhance them. I think you should enhance them. I think you need to test your luck. I think you need to test your luck, right? I think you should do it. Was that 5? You can get that up to, let's see. What's a tet? Just think about that. You could make an easy 60 billion right now, right? Just tap it all the way up. All 5 of them. 60 billion, it's calling your name. It's calling your name. Gosh, dude, 300 million. Oh my goodness. I mean, 300 billion. 300 billion. I wish it was 300 million. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's calling your name right there. Or not pin, but tet. With your RNG, you can get an easy tet. It's probably almost, in a way, worth it to get like the 5 set effect. I mean, at least you can buy them on the market, I guess. I still can't believe you have 2 pins. Like, dude, that's crazy, man. Like, there hasn't even been any sold on the market at all. Oh, hey, this one would give me 1 more AP. That's kind of tempting. Huh. Alrighty. Well, let me know how your enhancing goes, Jay, another day. All right. Peace, peace.